Guys, a man without adventure in his life is a man who is bored out of his mind and who's just stuck on the rat race of life. And I don't want that to be you. So I want to teach you something that I've shared with my son, that I share with a lot of men that I coach, consult, and mentor. And I think this will benefit you as well. And that thing is this: to say yes to the adventure. So let me tell you a little story. Many years ago, my son, Andrew, who's now 19, he was younger. He was early teens, maybe 11, 12, 13 years old. And he wanted to play some sport, but then he didn't like that sport. He wanted to go into a different sport, but he wasn't sure. And I was like, dude, I got an idea. Why don't you just say yes to the adventure? Whether you like that sport or not is irrelevant. You don't know if you don't try it. And so why don't you give it a shot? And I think you might figure out that if you say yes to the adventures of life, that life will be more exciting. Otherwise, you're going to be like most people when they grow up, and you're just going to be stuck in this rat race of life, which is, well, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to make money, I'm going to bring the money to my family, and then soon you begin to resent your life and you begin to hate the way that your life unfolded. And that is not what we are meant to have, guys. We are meant to have a life of adventure, right? And so if we know that we're meant to have a life of adventure, a life of fulfillment, a life of purpose, then let that adventure begin. Say yes to the adventure. One of the best things you can do, in fact, is start taking on new challenges, because you don't know what challenges are going to inspire something new inside you. You don't know what challenges are going to light this new flame inside you that's going to take you on a new path of passion or fulfillment or even a new purpose that you might uncover, right? You know, life is not linear. It's not like go to school, then high school, then college, then find the girl, then marry her, start the family, and then rinse and repeat. You work and earn and, just lose your flame and fire. That happens to so many men, and that is so heartbreaking. And so what I wanted to really stress to you guys is if you are the type of guy who feels like life has gotten monotonous, I find myself constantly in the same struggle over and over again. And I feel like every day is Groundhog Day, and I don't know what to do to break out of this funk. I've lost my flame. I've lost my fire. Then you might want to start saying yes to the adventure. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes the adventures will come to you, and now you have an opportunity to say yes. But most times, the adventure is not going to just come to you out of nowhere. You have to seek out the adventure. You have to figure out, how am I going to find the next new adventure in my life? See, for me, that's why I do these 6-week challenges. I do these 6-week challenges where I pick something that I have never done before, and then I train for that thing for 6 weeks, and then I go do it. The first 6-week challenge I ever did was a marathon, right? Because I was kind of bored out of my mind with my life, and things were going well, and I was making good money, and I just gotten married, and everything was fine, but I found myself like, man, I think I'm stuck in a rat race. I think I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm starting to kind of lose this fire. You know what? What if I do something I've never done before? I've always told myself that I'm not made to run. I've always told myself that I'm not the kind of person who can go long distance. God has made me to lift weights and to be strong. And so I was like, well, what if I signed up for a marathon, right? So as it turns out, the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon was 6 weeks out. So I signed up for the Rock and Roll Marathon, hired a running coach, and I was like, look, I've never run long distance. Hell, I've never even run short distance. And I want to run this San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon. The coach gave me the program. The coach gave me the what to eat, how to run, what to wear in terms of shoes, because all I do is I wear Chucks all the time. And guess what? I got the running shoes, I got the shorts, I got the whole thing. I trained for 6 weeks. I followed the protocol, the training protocol, the recovery protocol, the nutrition protocol, and I ran the San Diego Marathon. And it was like the biggest breakthrough that I had for myself at the time. This was 12 years ago, because I realized I could really do anything I put my mind to. I may not be like those Kenyan runners who are going to finish a marathon in 2 hours and 10 minutes, but man, I could go 26.2 miles on my own. That is pretty damn good, right? And so with that in mind, I took on the next challenge. I was afraid of heights. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go rock climbing. I'm going to go to Joshua Tree. I'm going to find a running or a rock climbing coach, an instructor, and they're going to teach me how to belay myself, and they're going to teach me how to find the right types of rocks to climb. And before you know it, I'm doing these rock faces that are 70, 80, 90, 100 feet high after 6 weeks. Same thing with improv classes. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. That's how jiu-jitsu started, right? 6-week challenge. Surfing. I live in Southern California and I never surfed. And I took a 6-week challenge into learning how to surf. And it's been almost a decade now that I surf and I love it. And it's so peaceful and meditative. And so these adventures in life don't just drop into your lap. You have to actively seek them out, fellas. And if you are willing to seek them out, I promise you, your life will be so much better because you're still going to work. You're still going to take care of your family. You're still going to be mom. You better not. Well, maybe you're going to be mom too. I don't know, man. It's 2025. Crazy shit happens. But you're going to be dad, right? You're going to be a husband and you're going to be the breadwinner. But that doesn't mean you have to robotically live a life that is boring, lacks fulfillment, lacks excitement, and lacks adventure. So that's my lesson to you guys. Say yes to the adventure. It's a great life if you make it a great life. Thanks so much for watching this episode of my show. Just an impromptu video on my channel. By the way, 74% of you are not subscribed to my channel, but you're watching this. If you got any value out of this in terms of saying yes to the adventure, finding that adventure, attacking it, and living a life that is fulfilled and being an example to your kids of someone who follows their gut and adventure, then do me a favor and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Peace out. Take care, guys.